Hi, my name's Zoey Womble. I'm a new applicant for the RA/NA position. To make sure that everyone is being held accountable for their tasks that they're assigned for things like planning events, I would first, in the initial process, just make sure everyone is taking on things that they can handle. Everyone knows their personal schedules, and we just want to make sure that everyone is going to be responsible for things that they know they can be responsible for. And checking in with everyone from time to time, just to make sure that everything's going smoothly. And in the event that someone isn't completing their tasks, and is looking like they're not going to complete it by a certain deadline, I'd have a conversation with them just to make sure like everything's going smoothly in their lives, and if anything is going on, then that's something we can talk about. And something I like to do personally is to take the big tasks and break them down into smaller little pieces, just to make everything a little bit more manageable for myself, for others, if that's how they would like to do it. And in the event that someone's tasks need to be redistributed because they can't get it done on time, then between myself and others in the event planning, we can talk about who's gonna get what and where all those tasks are gonna go. Just redistributing and reorganizing, just being flexible in case something like this does happen, just to make sure that these events are fully fledged out and get accomplished on time. When navigating conflicts between friends, roommates, even strangers, I would say listening, staying solution focused, and encouraging compromise is such an important part of finding what the issue is, problem solving. And a lot of these times it's sensitive issues and personal lives and things where people need to come together. And I think creating a calm environment to talk things out is something that is super important when it comes to these kinds of things. I did have a job once where I was working with ages from young kids to adults on a day-to-day basis, where they would come in groups and we would have to set them on a common goal. And then throughout the process, they would approach me with issues or questions, and I'd have to give them creative solutions and direction on where to go with it. So I think that's something that would really help in scenarios like this where people need to come together and get to a common goal. I think the environment in which these conversations take place is super important, and it creates a more likely environment for them to come to a compromise solution, and manage their personal issues. If any of my residents were to come up to me with these kinds of problems, I'd obviously create this space for them and use my previous experience to support their conversations as well. In the case of someone having a hard time and other people came up to me with concerns for them, I would first have a conversation with my resident and kind of approach them, assessing the personal situation just to gauge where they're at, where their head's at, see what's going on with them. And if it does turn out to be a concern of them feeling lonely or unmotivated, where they can't make friends, I would invite them to one of my RA events, one of my colleague RA events, kind of put them in an environment where they can have fun and meet new people and just overall have a good time, with, and where I can see how they are and what they're doing, as well as just getting to know them and their personal interests. Maybe I could send them on their way to events around campus that align with that, clubs, sports, things like that, where they might feel scared to go and approach those things by themselves, but hopefully with some encouragement, they can open up to those kinds of things. And then if it proves to be a little bit deeper than that, having struggling to go to class and the whole making friends and everything, it is hard for a lot of people. I would refer them to campus resources like counseling through the health center, which is something I've personally used in the past. Found great results with it and have stuck with it for some time now. So I do think those things are very beneficial to people in that position, as someone who's kind of been in that position. But yeah, I think just having a conversation and checking in with them after I've been approached is super important, and to kind of getting them to experience a few more things on campus if that's what they need to be doing. When it comes to getting to know my residents and forming those personal relationships, I would apply how I feel, every day, just trying to be approachable in life, in class, and I don't think this would be any different for me, creating a welcoming environment just to make sure that everyone feels comfortable and like we're all trying to build this community, not just me. And so I want everyone to feel a part of that, as well as talking to everyone, one-on-one and in group settings would be great. I know it's a little uncomfortable sometimes when you don't know a person. So I think a group setting would be good. Giving options between the two would also be great, for those who have a preference. And with anyone that I don't have much in common with, especially residents, I would try to find something we have in common. I feel like most people have this something in common with each other. And I just think that would prove me to be a leader within the community and try to be like a friend to the residents instead of like this like authority figure all the time. And then in the event that there's some opposition or avoidance from anyone, I would try a different approach of getting to know them. Maybe like having group events or encouraging different types of relationship building with each other and myself, so that we all can get to know each other throughout the year, and just so that everyone feels comfortable in where we are. In order to encourage social justice and equity within my community and for all of my residents, I would make sure that everyone knows that they are welcome and they're able to be included within the community that we're all building together. And I think that's such an important part, is that like, yes, I'm a leader for them and for, the space that we live in, but everyone's included, and this is a place that, everyone can express themselves, and we've all experienced different things in our lives, but we're all in the same place and we're all living together. And so it's super important that these things are acknowledged for everyone. As well as I would love to get input from my residents on things that I can do to help them feel more included. If that's, creating events specific to things that they want to see, things that would celebrate, their backgrounds, culture, religion, things like that. Just so that, everyone feels a little bit more at home, and we can do like educational things, more like community, social events, things like that, just so that everyone is always having a good time and they can feel like they can talk to each other about things would be super important. Coming to me is great, but I think also coming together is also amazing. And just conversations and creating those connections is one of the best ways for everyone to feel included and for people to get to know each other. Just to build those personal relationships, having that, at least my freshman year specifically with my RA, she did such a great job of creating that community for everyone. We're all still friends to this day, and it was something that I'm super thankful for, that I know everyone else is super thankful for, and would be such a good thing for me to bring, and I would love to bring that to other people as well.